Welcome to the podcast, where a passion meets purpose and limits are challenged. I'm your host, Eleonora Gendelman. Let's start bending reality. Every morning, you wake up following the same patterns, thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same emotions, and living the same life. But something inside you knows there's more. That tension you feel, that's not dissatisfaction, that's your potential knocking at the door of your consciousness. The power to change has always been within you. Your brain is firing and wiring the same neural patterns every single day. These patterns become your reality, and your personality creates your personal reality. But what if in this moment you could begin to break free from these patterns? What if this moment could be the point where everything changes? Your brain doesn't know the difference between what's happening in your external world and what you are thinking about. This means that right now, as you are listening to these words, you have the power to create new neural pathways, new possibilities, and ultimately a new life. Most people wait for crisis, trauma, or loss to finally make a change. But you're here because something within you recognizes that the time for waiting is over. The time for change is now. Your body might be telling you to stay safe, to stick with what's familiar. That's just your survival mechanism trying to keep you in your comfort zone. But growth never happens in comfort zones. Evolution demands that we step into the unknown, that we trust in something greater than our limited thinking. Your current reality is nothing but a reflection of your past thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. Every morning when you open your eyes, your brain releases the same chemicals, creating the same feelings that lead to the same behaviors. It's like watching the same movie over and over, expecting a different ending. Look at your life right now. The relationships you have, the job you're in, the state of your health, they are all products of your repetitive thoughts and emotions. The science tells us that 95% of who you are is a set of memorized behaviors, emotional reactions, beliefs, and perceptions that function like a computer program running in your subconscious mind. When you feel anxious, your body releases stress chemicals, cortisol, adrenaline. When you feel stuck, your brain creates patterns that reinforce that stuckness. It's a feedback loop that keeps you trapped in the same reality. But there's the fascinating part. These chemicals are addictive. You've become addicted to your own emotions, whether they are serving you or not. Think about the last time you tried to change something in your life. Maybe you were trying to stick to a new diet or a workout plan. What happened? Probably you started strong, but eventually fell back into old patterns. That's because you were trying to create a new future while carrying the emotions of your past. Your brain is like a record of the past. Every experience you've had has left an imprint in your brain. These memories become your identity. When you say, "This is just who I am," you are really saying, "This is who I was." But is that who you want to be? The gap between your current state and your desired state isn't just about taking different actions. It's about becoming a different person. The person who has the life you want thinks differently, feels differently, and therefore creates differently. They have learned to break free from the emotional attachments to their past. Right now, as you're listening to these words, your brain is storing information. But unless you begin to think and feel in new ways, this information will just be another mental concept. Real change happens when you start living from the state of your desired future, rather than the memories of your past. Here's where the science of letting go becomes fascinating. Every time you hold on to a negative emotion, whether it's fear, anger, or doubt, you are actually instructing your genes to create the same biology. It's like telling your body to stay stuck in the past. The science shows us that thoughts are electric and feelings are magnetic. Together, they create an electromagnetic signature that influences every cell in your body. When you have a thought, your brain releases chemicals. These chemicals make you feel exactly the way you were just thinking. Then, you start thinking the way you're feeling, creating more of the same chemicals. It's a cycle that keeps you anchored to the past. But here's the breakthrough. You can interrupt the cycle at any moment. Your thoughts and feelings can literally change your genetic expression. You are not hardwired to be any particular way. Your genes are constantly being influenced by your external environment and your internal environment. Your thoughts and emotions is something you can control. When you release an emotion you've been holding on to, you are actually breaking a neural pattern in your brain. It's like deleting an old program from your computer. But it's not enough to just delete the old. You need to install something new. Your body has been conditioned to hold on to stress, anxiety, and fear as a means of protection. It's been programmed to believe that being in a state of survival is keeping you safe. But living in survival mode means you are preparing for a future based on your past. You are using up all your energy trying to predict every worst case scenario instead of creating something new. The biology of change requires you to release these old emotional patterns stored in your body. Every time you let go of an old emotion, you are actually liberating energy that's been bound up in your body. This energy becomes available for creation rather than protection. Emotion is energy in motion. It can't be destroyed, but it can be transformed. Think about water. When it's frozen, it's rigid and unchangeable. But when it melts, it can flow and take any shape. Your energy works the same way. When you're holding on to old emotions, your energy is frozen. When you let go, it becomes fluid, allowing you to create new patterns, new behaviors, and new experiences. The key is understanding that these emotions you've been holding on to are not actually you. They are memorized chemical states from past experiences. When you truly understand this, letting go becomes easier. You realize you are not losing a part of yourself. You are releasing what never truly belonged to you in the first place. Breaking the habit of being yourself is the most important work you can ever do. Your personality is just a series of thoughts, behaviors, and emotions that you've repeated so many times they become automatic. It's like a program running in the background of your mind. Take a moment right now to notice your thoughts. Are they new thoughts or are they the same thoughts you had yesterday, last week, last year? Most people think the same thoughts every day, about 60 to 70,000 thoughts, and 90% of them are the same as the day before. This is where the life stays the same. Your identity, who you think you are, is built from memories of the past. Every experience you've had has left an emotional imprint, and these emotions have become the lens through which you view your world. If you've experienced failure, you might approach new opportunities with hesitation. But there's the breakthrough moment. You are not your past. You are not your emotions. You are not your thoughts. These are just patterns you've practiced. Just like you can learn a new skill, you can learn to be a new person. This isn't about improving yourself. It's about releasing who you've been to become who you are meant to be. Your body has been conditioned to be the unconscious mind. It's been programmed by years of thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same feelings, and acting the same way. Every morning when you wake up, your body starts looking for the familiar emotions it's addicted to. It's seeking the chemical states it knows best. This is why change feels uncomfortable at first. Your body will resist. It will create sensations of anxiety, doubt, and fear. It will try to pull you back to the familiar. But these sensations are just withdrawal symptoms from your emotional addictions. They are not signals to stop. They are signals that change is happening. The key to breaking these patterns is becoming conscious of your unconscious states. When you catch yourself thinking an old thought or feeling an old emotion, that's your moment of power. That's when you can choose differently. Instead of letting the thought or emotion run its usual course, you can pause, become aware, and make a new choice. Think about it like this. Every time you react the same old way, you are voting for your past. Every time you choose a new response, you are voting for your future. Your personality creates your personal reality. So if you want a new reality, you have to become a new person. Right now, I am changing my diet, and I realized a diet is just a habit. The amount we eat, what we eat, how much we eat, and your body craves the familiar. We are used to a certain amount of calories and certain foods we ate for years. The amount of fat, protein, and carbs. Your body can adapt and get used to different diets. And the diet you have right now, you think this is your natural state. The body you have right now, you think this is your natural state. But what if your natural state can be different? What if you can redefine your natural state and set a different new standard? What if your natural state of health is different? What if it's being vibrant, full of energy and vitality, full of clarity and focus and excitement? What if the natural state of your body is different? What if the natural state is being lean and muscular and being the size that you decide you want to be? What if your financial natural state is different than the current one? Everything, literally everything is just a habit. So now that I realized it is just a habit, as everything else, I can re-educate my body to accept, love, and thrive on this new, different diet. Sometimes I notice my brain telling me, you should go back to the previous way, or you should go and get this or that, otherwise you will die. It is just craving the familiar emotions and comfort. It's so interesting to observe and have conversations with my survival brain. And I do have some withdrawal symptoms until my body adjusts to the new way, until my blood sugar stabilizes, the hunger hormone ghrelin adjusts, and my stomach and brain adapts to the new norm. So every morning when I do my meditation, I visualize myself responding to the usual habits and cravings in a new way. I visualize and feel the emotion. So when the moment actually comes, I already rehearsed my action, and it feels more and more natural to act in a new way every time. Creation happens first in consciousness. Your external world is a reflection of your internal state. When you understand this principle, you realize why affirmations and positive thinking alone often do not work. You can't just think positive thoughts while feeling negative emotions and expect your reality to change. Your thoughts and feelings must be coherent. They must tell the same story. This is where the power of mental rehearsal comes in. Elite athletes use this technique. They rehearse their performance in their mind with such clarity and emotion that their brain and body begin to change before they even step onto the field. You can use the same principle to create any change in your life. When you close your eyes and rehearse your new reality with clear intention and elevated emotion, you are literally programming your brain and conditioning your body for a new future. You are installing the neurological hardware and emotional software of your desired reality before it manifests. But it's not enough to just visualize what you want. You have to feel it. Your body needs to believe it's happening right now. Remember, your body doesn't know the difference between an actual experience and one that's vividly imagined. This is why your heart races when you watch a scary movie. Your body believes it's real. The quantum field responds to the coherence between your thoughts and feelings. When you can maintain this coherence consistently, you become a powerful creator. You're no longer trying to make things happen. You are allowing them to happen because you've aligned your energy with the frequency of what you desire. Think about the time when you were in complete flow, when everything seemed to align effortlessly. That's what happens when your thoughts and feelings are coherent. You are no longer swimming upstream against the current of your old programming. You are flowing with the creative force of the universe. This is why gratitude is so powerful. When you feel genuine gratitude for something before it manifests, you are signaling to the quantum field that you trust in the outcome. You are living from the end result. Your gratitude becomes a magnetic force that draws your desired reality closer. Now, let's talk about the practical steps of becoming supernatural and energy manager in your everyday life. The morning is your most powerful time for creation. When you first wake up, your brain is in a theta state, highly suggestible and programmable. This is your window of opportunity to install new thoughts and emotions before your old personality kicks in. Instead of reaching for your phone or immediately jumping into your day, take time to sit in silence. Close your eyes and become aware of your automatic thoughts and feelings. Notice without judgment how your body wants to pull you back into your familiar emotional states. The meditation process begins with moving your attention away from your environment, your body, and time. As you do this, you are literally disconnecting from the elements that reinforce your old personality. You are creating space for something new to emerge. Focus on your breath. As you slow down your breathing, you are calming your nervous system and changing your brainwave patterns. This creates coherence between your heart and brain, allowing you to access deeper states of consciousness where real change is possible. Once you have reached this settled state, begin to envision your new reality. See it with absolute clarity. What does it look like? Who are you in this new reality? How do you carry yourself? How do you interact with others? Most importantly, what emotions are you experiencing? You must generate and sustain the elevated emotions of your future before it manifests. If you're creating abundance, feel the joy and gratitude of already having it. If you're creating better health, feel the vitality and strength in every cell of your body. If you're creating a loving relationship, feel the love and connection as if it's already happened. Stay in the state for at least 15 to 20 minutes. This is not a visualization exercise. It's an embodiment practice. You are training your body to emotionally accept this new reality as the current truth. You're building new neural networks through the power of your focused intention and elevated emotion. As you open your eyes and move into your day, your job is to maintain this new state of being. The environment is always trying to pull you back into who you used to be. The key is to sustain your new state throughout the day. Become aware of your triggers, the people, places, and situations that typically pull you back into your old emotional patterns. This awareness gives you the power to pause and choose differently. Think of yourself as an energy manager throughout the day. You're either gaining or losing energy. When you catch yourself in old thought patterns or emotional reactions, you are leaking energy. When you maintain your elevated state despite external circumstances, you are building energy. Your new mantra becomes, how would the new me respond to this situation? Instead of reacting automatically from your old programming, you pause and choose a response that aligns with who you are becoming. This is how you build new neural pathways and strengthen your new personality. Everything in the universe is energy, frequency, and vibration. The thoughts you think and the emotions you feel create an electromagnetic signature that attracts corresponding experiences. When you maintain a coherent state of elevated emotions, you become a magnet for synchronicities and opportunities and miracles. Pay attention to the signs that your energy is shifting. Do you feel contracted or expanded? Are you operating from fear or love? Are you creating from lack or abundance? These subtle energetic shifts are your guidance system showing you where you are aligned with your old self or your emerging self. The more you practice maintaining your elevated state, the easier it becomes. What started as a conscious effort becomes your new normal. Your body learns to sustain these new states without effort. You literally change your baseline frequency. This is when the magic starts happening. People begin responding to you differently. Opportunities seem to appear out of nowhere. Problems that used to trigger you no longer have the same effect. You are no longer at the mercy of your environment because you become the creator of your environment. The most important part, do not wait for something outside of you to change how you feel inside. You change your inner state first, and your outer reality follows. There is a period where the old system and new system seem to conflict. You might experience temporary disruption, unusual emotions, vivid dreams, changes in sleep patterns, or shifts in relationships. This is all normal. It's part of the integration process. During this phase, remember that you're not just changing your thoughts. You are changing your entire energy field. It is reorganizing itself to match your new frequency. This can feel uncomfortable because you're literally becoming a different person. The key is to welcome these sensations rather than resist them. Each wave of discomfort is actually a wave of old energy leaving your field. Each moment of uncertainty is your old identity dissolving to make way for the new. This is what true transformation feels like. As you move through this phase, you'll notice something. What once took tremendous effort now happens naturally. You can maintain elevated emotional states for longer periods. Your energy field becomes more stable and resilient. This is when people around you really start to notice the change. They might say, you look younger, seem calmer, or have a different energy. That's because you are literally radiating at a different frequency. Your light has become brighter, your field stronger. You begin to understand reality from a completely different perspective. What once seemed impossible now feels inevitable. What used to trigger fear now inspires curiosity. It's not about developing special powers or abilities. It's about transcending the limitations we've accepted as natural, as our natural state. It's about operating from a higher level of consciousness where what seemed supernatural becomes your natural state. You'll notice that time starts behaving differently. Instead of feeling rushed or stressed about time, you enter a flow state where everything happens at exactly the right moment. You stop forcing outcomes and start dancing with possibilities. Your intention becomes so refined that you naturally align with optimal timing. Your relationships transform because you're no longer seeking to get something from others. You are naturally giving from your overflow. You become a walking invitation for others to step into their higher potential without saying a word. Your presence reminds people of who they really are. Your health and vitality reach new levels because you are no longer fighting yourself. The energy you used to spend on stress, worry, and resistance now becomes available for healing, creativity, and evolution. Your body literally begins to age backward as you align with higher frequencies. Most importantly, you develop an unshakable trust in the process of life. You understand that everything, even apparent setbacks or challenges, is serving your evolution. You no longer need external circumstances to be a certain way to feel at peace. You become the peace. This is the true meaning of mastery, not controlling life, but dancing with it, not forcing change, but embodying it, not seeking power over others, but awakening the power within. This is what it means to be aligned with your highest potential, that miracles become your natural state. This journey never truly ends. There are always new levels of consciousness to explore, new frequencies to embody, new possibilities to create. But now you have the tools, the understanding, and most importantly, the direct experience of your own unlimited potential. Let me conclude with some essential guidance for maintaining and deepening your transformation. This is where many people either fully embody their new state or gradually slip back into old patterns. Maintenance is just as important as transformation. Just as an athlete must continue training to maintain peak performance, you must continue your practices to maintain your elevated state. Check in throughout your day. When you first wake up, before meals, during transitions between activities, before important interactions, before sleep. Check in with yourself. This work isn't just about personal transformation. It's about contributing to the evolution of human consciousness. Every person who maintains a coherent, elevated state creates a template that makes it easier for others to do the same. Your journey has now become a living transmission. People will be drawn to your field often without knowing why. Some people will be ready to change, others won't. Your job isn't to convince anyone. It's simply to maintain your coherence and let your field do the work. This is the art of living supernaturally. To be so consistent in your elevated state that you become a walking possibility, a living reminder of what's possible for human consciousness, and become the evidence that transformation is real, that consciousness creates reality. I am offering one-to-one coaching for those ready to step deeper into this work, to rewire emotional patterns, regulate your energy, and become the version of yourself that already lives your future. Whether you are a leader, creative, or high achiever, ready to align your inner world with the life you want to create, I will guide you through my Elevate method. We will explore your personal journey and create a personalized toolkit designed specifically for your transformation. I will guide you with presence, precision, and care every step of the way. Inquire through the link in bio. If you found this episode valuable, please rate, review, and share with someone who would benefit as well. Thank you for choosing yourself, doing the work, and creating change. Keep living with purpose.